The next example that we're going to look at is the piecewise function. I'll look at piecewise, then we're going to look at also another function, which is the difference quotient. So we'll break that one up and we'll get to that one in example 4. So example 3, this is called the piecewise function. So in this case, we have x squared minus 1 when x is less than or equal to 0. I'm basically just reading these two statements. And we also have 3x minus 2 when x is greater than 0. Let me just actually draw that for you, or graph that for you. Real simple, the first one's actually in vertex form, where the vertex would be 0, negative 1, something that we all did in pre-calc. So the vertex is 0, negative 1, and the a value out front is 1, so the pattern change would be 1, 3, 5. So I'm going to go to the right one, up 1, to the right, or excuse me, left one, up 1, left one, up 3, 1, 2, 3, and left one, up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like this. And now, I'm actually only going to draw the parabola, it's quadratic, I'm only going to draw the parabola to the left of 0. So it says x is less than or equal to 0. So I'm actually going to put a dotted line here, because that's telling me that is where the piecewise function starts and ends for two functions. All right? So the graph of the parabola looks like this. It's only on this side and it goes on forever. X is less than or equal to 0. And it's solid right here because it includes 0. Now to the other side, the linear side. 3x minus 2. The y-intercept is negative 2. That's down 1, 2, so it's right here. It's going to be an open circle because it's only x is greater than 0, not including 0. Then the slope is 3. We know that that's rise over run, up 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, to the right 1. And put a point there, and then I'll make a straight line. Looks like that. All right? That was what the piecewise function would look like. So now, let's go ahead and evaluate. So the first one says when f is negative 1. Well, let's just think about where that fits. F is negative 1. Negative 1 is less than or equal to 0. So again, we're going to plug that into the first statement, or the first equation, or function. And then evaluate. So instead of x, I'm going to put negative 1 squared minus 1. That equals negative 1 squared is 1 minus 1 equals 0. The answer there is 0. And that makes a lot of sense because when the function x is negative 1, when the value of x is negative 1, we have 0, right? That's denoted on the graph right there. And of course, it's for the first function, the quadratic part of the function. Let's take a look at the next one. F of 3. 3 is definitely greater than 0. So again, or this time we're going to use the second statement, or the second function. So 3 in the place of x, I'm putting 3. I get that from right there. Minus 2 equals 9 minus 2, which is 7. Let's just check that out as an ordered pair. That'll be 3, 7. Let's see if it lines up correctly. So to the right, 1, 2, 3. Then you go up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Your mind was a sketch, but it matches up pretty close on the linear function. Great. Let's do f of negative 6. I kind of have that one laid out for you. So all we got to do is plug in the negative 6. Obviously, it fits into the first function, the quadratic function. And so we put in negative 6. Negative 6 squared is a positive 36. Minus 1 equals 35. And so on the graph, if we were to go to negative 6, obviously you won't be able to see it because my graph doesn't go that high. But if you go to the left 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so negative 6 to the left, and then up, you find the graph way up there at 35. That is the piecewise function. Now let's get to something called the difference quotient. This here is called the difference quotient. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break it up. I'm going to find f of a plus h. I'll do that second. Then I'm going to find f of a. I'll do that first. And then I'll put it all over h, and then we're going to clean it up. All right. You need to watch this one maybe once or twice. Watch this example because I know a lot of students have messed this up in the past. All right. All right. So I already have it laid out for you because I want it to look clean. In the place of x, this first one, f of a, I'm going to put a. So instead of x, I put an a. So I have a squared minus 2. All I did, again, I plugged in A in the place of X. Okay, the second one. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the A plus H, I'm going to put that in the place of X. So you're going to see this real quick. Instead of X here, you're now going to see A plus H. There's the A plus H, squared minus 2. All right, notice what happened. In the place of X here, in the place of X, I put the A plus H. That whole thing, squared minus 2. What do you do from there? You FOIL. So A plus H times A plus H. FOIL will give you A squared plus 2AH plus H squared. Then you're going to subtract that 2 off the end, and you'll end up with A squared plus 2AH plus H squared minus 2. So now I have both parts of my difference quotient. So now I can go ahead and do this last part. I already know what f of A plus H is. That's what this is right here. So I'm going to put that in first. So in the place of f of A plus H, I'm going to put in A squared plus 2AH plus H squared minus 2. That's taking care of this part. Minus f of A. F of A was the very first one that we did up here, which was A squared minus 2. Now you got to be careful here because it's minus. You got to put that A squared minus 2 in parentheses because we're going to distribute that negative. It's all divided by H. Let's keep on cleaning this up, okay? We got A squared plus 2AH plus H squared minus 2 minus A squared plus 2. I just distributed the negative divided by H. Let's continue to clean this up. All I did was distribute the negative on that second one. All right, let's continue to clean it up. Well, take a look at that. I got an A squared and a negative A squared. Those are going to cancel out. Also got a negative 2 and a positive 2. Those are going to cancel out. So what do I have left? I have 2AH plus H squared divided by H. Watch this. I can simple factor. You remember that from Algebra 2 and FST? I can simple factor on H on the top, and it leaves me with 2A plus H divided by H. And since this is the product here, not addition or subtraction, it's a product, I can cancel out that H and cancel out that H, and I'm left with 2A plus H, final answer. The difference quotient. Again, a lot of students have messed this one up. It's not so bad. A lot of the problems look exactly like this one. But a lot of students have messed this up in the past. Watch this video more than once.